Hi, my name is Donna Swanson. I'm the Executive Director at Focus Alternative Learning Center. Focus is an agency that works with individuals on the autism spectrum, and we have some members of our panel, the Spectrum Unplugged, and we're going to be talking to you today about school issues.
I'm your co-host, Lucas Hofstadter. Thank you for joining us today. The issue of school has been one that's come up a great deal in the feedback we've gotten from our public speaking presentations and from parents of our clients. And it's a very big issue for us on the spectrum. School is a place that has given a lot of us a lot of positive experiences and some of us some not so positive experiences. And we're here today to share those with all of you and hopefully enlighten all of you as to what life is like for us when we get on the bus and leave home every day.
And this is not to bash schools in any way. It's to enlighten you, as Lucas has said, as to what an individual on the autism spectrum goes through when they go to school. Some of these guys have had very good experiences, and some have had not so good. And it's a definite topic that's worthy of talking about.
We're going to begin by talking a little bit about what helped us in school, what made school easier for us, what really got us through the day, what made the difference between us being able to function or not in the school systems, and maybe even what we enjoyed about it, what really helped us to be able to get the most out of school. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our esteemed comrades, and we'll get the show on the road.
So Alex, what in school? What was helpful to you about school? What helped?
Have smaller, quieter classes. There are no bullies. My teacher lets me use a stress tool.
Can you recapture that?
Yeah, Alex mentioned that he's in a very special school that understands kids with autism very well. And his classes are smaller and quieter. There's not a lot of overstimulating activity going on. He gets to take breaks when he needs to. And they make very, very sure that there are no bullies in the school. It just isn't tolerated. It doesn't happen in this school, which is something that makes a tremendous, tremendous difference. Is there anything I've missed, Alex?
Nope, that's about it.
And they do let you pace when you need to, right?
Yes.
And know that you don't take advantage of that, and that when you need to pace, you need to pace. Do you have to ask permission, or you just get to get up and do it?
Usually have to ask permission.
So you ask permission, but they always let you go, right? Let you pace when you need to? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy?
When I was in high school, I had a really nice guidance counselor that made sure that I got involved in at least something, because I didn't want to do anything, and my parents knew that, so they talked to my guidance counselor, and he got me into track and field, which I really, really enjoyed. So I thank him for that.
So somebody that can help motivate you.
Right.
And again, we talk about autism and relationships. So
Yeah.
when you have a good relationship with somebody
Exactly.
you're definitely somebody that needs a little nudging.
Yeah.
Right? If left to your own devices.
I wouldn't do a darn thing.
Wouldn't do a darn thing,
Yeah,
right?
darn thing, yeah.
Yeah. But when with the right nudging.
Yeah.
And the right relationships.
The right people, yeah.
You get to do, and so you were very good at track.
I was, yeah.
That was something
And
that
I
they
still
got
am,
you
yeah.
into. Still are, yep. Still a runner.
Yeah.
There you go. How about you, Colleen?
Some of the things that helped me in school were, as Andy said, having a good relationship with a staff member in the school. For me, it would be my English teachers or my history teacher, or in middle school it was my course teacher, my art teacher. And what also helped was having a place to go during the day. During high school, I would have lunch in my school's AV room, because being in the cafeteria was very anxiety-provoking for me. So being in the AV room would give me a place to relax and decompress.
So Alex, his whole school is a nice, quiet school, but you found a nice, quiet room to be able to have lunch in and de-stress.
And it also helped, during tests, I was able to go to my school's learning center to take them in a quieter place where I would be able to concentrate on my work.
How about you, Lucas?
Well, I'd like to revisit the point that's been made, and you'll hear it again and again, the importance of relationships to those of us who are on the spectrum. I cannot stress the importance of this point enough. Autism is a spectrum of relationship disorders, and having even one positive relationship, just a comfort zone that one knows that one can return to, and one knows that one will be listened to and understood, or at least that someone is there who will make the effort. The relationship is extremely, extremely important, especially in a place like school, where there are so many unforeseen possibilities. Things tend to happen unexpectedly. One somewhat knows what to expect, but often does not fully know. So for me in school, it helped to have teachers and a couple of other faculty members. I spent a lot of time hanging out with the custodians because they were a great bunch of guys, and they shared some of my opinions about the school. But people on the faculty that were safe, that I knew would at least try to make the effort to figure out what was going on with me, where I was at, if I was having a hard time with my work, if I was just having a rotten day, if I hadn't gotten enough sleep the night before, or something else was going on. And I think also methods of managing the anxiety that inevitably arises in school. Colleen mentioned the cafeteria as a very anxiety-producing place. We have another young gentleman who's not able to be with us today for this show, but who would say the same thing, that cafeterias in school were extremely difficult for him, that often assigned seating is difficult. You can get lumped in with people who misbehave, and then you take the fall along with them when you haven't done anything. I think it's important to have help keeping yourself organized. That was one thing that I needed in high school. I had eventually a staff member who would go around and gather my assignments at the end of the day and drop them all off for me in a central location, because having trouble with A, managing my own anxiety, and B, organization, I wound up missing the school bus several days because I would have to go to so many different places at the end of the day just to get what I needed. So really having people that you can trust, people you know you can go to, I would say, for me.
And one of the things, Lucas, that you have said, and many of the kids on the spectrum say, that the anxiety for you to go to school was, you equated it with going off to...
I compared it to going to war, because in a lot of ways for me it really was. I'm one of the ones who had more difficult times at school. The academic tasks and especially the social pressures, they're just peer-wise, there are so many in-jokes and different esoteric almost customs that have to be observed. And nobody instructs you on those. They just assume you'll pick them up. And if you're like me, you maybe have a little bit more trouble picking up on those things. So going to school, getting on the bus every day, for me, it felt like what I would imagine those shipping off overseas would probably feel like, going into a zone that they might not come back from. It was just a tremendous amount of anxiety, and it was really those supportive people who helped me to get through that and make it home safely.
So that getting your homework at the end of the day, that just took a huge burden off of you, and it helped you know that you were going to get home.
Absolutely. And it might seem enabling, which is kind of another thing, just with being understood. Often what is for us a stress-reducing mechanism or a coping mechanism, others will tend to see as an escape or being enabled or just being given an easy out, when we could just as easily solve it in maybe a neurotypical way. And having teachers who understood our needs, for me particularly, that understood that I did need someone to go around and help collect my assignments, because by the end of the school day, I was just done. You couldn't get me on the bus to go home fast enough.
And
So.
I think that's a good point, is that people think because you're smart, especially the Asperger kids, where it's harder to necessarily see what the problems are, because
We present as perfectly ordinary.
Yes, and so that because you present as perfectly ordinary and as somebody who's very smart and articulate, why would somebody like you need to have somebody get your homework assignments? Mm-hmm. And another thing that really helped you is getting out of gym.
Tremendous.
And not because you wanted to get out of gym, but what was the problem in that setting?
Well,
for
as
you?
if I didn't have enough social difficulties just with the peers I had